Welcome to Let's Grow Annual Challenge, Day 330. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. And today we are continuing our No Nonsense November, sharing a lesson learned, a tip and tool every day that you can use to develop personally and create the life that you want. Because we want to continue to do one thing every day to grow. But in order to do that, we want to have a whole bunch of tools in our toolbox. So today's tool, let's set my coffee down. Today's tool is the Reflective Practice Workbook. You can Google that and you can buy a book about it, and you can actually buy a physical workbook, or you can just think about and create your own workbook for reflective self-reflection and practicing self-reflection. Our lesson learned today is self-reflection and the power of that, as well as using a workbook or a guided set of prompts to help you to evaluate your thoughts and feelings and beliefs and actions and experiences and interpret them in a way that helps you to grow and create the life that you want, versus just rolling through our life and kind of being batted around with whatever happens we respond to, whatever happens next we respond to. We can live our lives that way. I've had periods of my life where I was just going through the motions and doing what I thought I needed to do at the time, but they weren't very happy. As I reflect back now through self-reflection, they weren't the happiest times of my life. They weren't the best times of my life because I didn't feel like I was steering my own ship. So we have got Renee's story and guide to the Let's Grow Annual Challenge private Facebook group page. You can go there and you can read her story and how she used a reflective workbook to help her get to know herself better, right? The better we know ourselves, the better choices we can make, the better decisions, the better we will respond and react, the more emotionally intelligent we will be, the better our relationships will be, the better our results and creating what we want will be for us. Just overall life and experiences will be better. So how do you practice self-reflection? How do you do it right now? Do you? There have been periods of my life where I absolutely positively was blinded to, excuse my throat, myself and my own behavior, right? When we're young, we really don't do a lot of self-reflection. We just feel, especially during our teenage, adolescent years, and respond. We stimulus, response. And then through a couple of usually not awesome experiences, we learn that maybe that's not the best way to live our lives. Maybe we should think a little bit, plan a little bit, set a few goals, and then attempt to move toward those goals, not just, go through life being batted around like a ping pong ball or a tennis ball or a volleyball. We want to have more control over that. At least I want to have more control over my life than that. Definitely caught a cold from the granddaughters this weekend, but we will deal with that. It's Thanksgiving week here in the United States, so there's always things to be grateful for. I'm grateful I get to spend time with my granddaughters, so I'm not going to complain about a little germ that I let myself catch here and there. So how do we practice self-reflection? What are some key points? You don't have to go get a workbook. You can just grab a piece of paper, or you can just sit down and think it through. Number one, you want to have a dedicated time to self-reflect. I schedule in review, reflection, lessons learned, continuous improvement time into my actual physical schedule so that I make sure that I make time for it. I also have alarms set on my phone to remind me to review something, which is a form of self-reflection, etc. Secondly, we want to have a comfortable spot that we can do it. When we're doing a dedicated self-reflection exercise, like if I'm doing a workbook, I do it the same time of day, every day, in the same place, the same comfortable place where I'm not going to be interrupted, and I can actually spend some time thinking about a situation. How did it go? Was it what I wanted? If not, what would I do differently next time, etc. That's how we practice and we become better at anything, is by doing something, taking some action, seeing the results we got, reviewing in our mind and in our notes or whatever works for us, what the results and outcomes were. And if they weren't exactly what we wanted, guess what? We get to do something else. We get to try something else and do it again. Third, we want to use structured prompts, especially if we're just getting started on a journey of self-reflection. Structured prompts, just like we talked about the other day, really help to guide us to success faster than if we're just winging it and asking ourselves questions. Because the quality of the questions that we ask will determine the quality of the answers and the results that we get. And if we're not super great at self-reflecting and we start asking ourselves the wrong questions, guess what? our subconscious will feed us up answers, even if those answers are a lie or not true for us. It'll give us answers just to appease us asking the question, if that makes sense. We want to be honest and absolutely positively open and authentic with ourselves. We can lie to other people, but we can't lie to ourselves. And why would we want to? Why would we want to tell ourselves we're doing something or not if we're not doing what it is that we say we're going to do? And then finally, we want to record our thoughts. We want to take at least a few notes about the practice or answering the question so that we can know in an instant when we go back or look at that or see that question again. Oh, this is how I responded last time. Now, this is a different situation that came up that's similar, but I didn't get the result I wanted here either. Why might that be? What could I do differently? What could I say differently, etc. And again, then in Renee's story, she shares the benefits that she got from using the reflective practice reflection journal or workbook. You can use it as a journal or a workbook. I'm a big fan of journal workbook combined. So the 3 components you want to have in a workbook if you're creating your own is, 1, you want to have some questions and guided prompts. Remember, I talked about that 3,000 questions about me yesterday. I think it was yesterday. It might have been the day before. You could use that. You could use questions like that as guided prompts. Secondly, you want to have progress tracking in that. So if you're working on an area of improvement, or if you set a goal for yourself, you can actually track your progress toward that in your self-reflection journal, as well as practical exercises that you can do so that you can be more self-reflective and more self-analytical. Again, we're not judging ourselves. We are just paying attention to how things are going for us, how things make us feel, and then the results that we get. Are we getting the results we want? If we're not, then we need to change something. Only we can change something, right? We can't change other people. We can only change ourselves. So that's where we always start, is with ourselves. It's like self-love. Nobody can love, well, people can love you, but people love us no matter what, unconditionally. But in order to give love, you have to love yourself, right? We can't give anything away that we don't already have. And we have everything in us already. We just have to find it. All right. Any questions about this? Hit me up for our action item today. Do one self-reflection session today. Pick a 5-minute period, or even if it's only a 1-minute period, and ask yourself a question and then reflect on the answer. Again, you can pick a self-guided question, or you can just go find a resource or a workbook and get that today to move you toward actually self-reflecting on a continuous basis. I stop myself, usually too late, and say, okay, well, that just happened. Why did that just happen? That didn't get me the result I wanted. Why did I say that? Why did I do that? What could I do better next time? Or in a situation that goes extremely well, wow, what did I say? What did I do differently? How did I act that got me this result so quickly when I usually struggle in this area? That's it. Any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.